This deck is fun, fast, and powerful. We're playing Modern Mono-Red Belcher featuring Goblin Charbelcher and Stormscale Scion. Let's go check it out. In front of you is Modern Mono-Red Belcher, and it gets its namesake from Goblin Charbelcher, a 4-mana artifact. For 3 mana, you tap it, reveal cards from the top of your library, you deal damage equal to the amount of cards revealed, you stop once you hit a land, and if that land is a mountain, it deals double. Well, when you look at this deck, where are lands? There are none. Instead, we're playing modal double-facing cards, MDFCs, like the Spikefield Hazard, so that way our Goblin Charbelcher always deals lethal, which is pretty exciting. The alternative plan to that is casting a large dragon with Storm, aka Stormscale Scion, and overwhelming the opponent in the air. In order to help us cast these expensive cards, we have things like Ruby Medallion, Pyretic Ritual, Desperate Ritual, Manamorphose, and Ironcrag Feat. Ironcrag Feat is awesome because it's 7 mana, which is exactly enough to cast Goblin Charbelcher and activate, or just enough to play Stormscale Scion. So this is one of the more powerful cards in the deck. The last time I played this deck, I went undefeated, 5-0, and that was roughly 4 or 5 months ago. Hopefully today we replicate that. I was looking for a fun deck to play today because I'll be honest with you, I haven't been enjoying Modern. Ruby Storm doesn't feel fun to me anymore. I've been trying Song of Creation decks, but I just keep on getting my teeth kicked in. So I decided to return to something that's super powerful but also fun, and maybe I would enjoy that a little bit more. So we'll see how we do today. And if you enjoy the video, like, comment, subscribe, all that great stuff. I really would appreciate your support. But for now, we're going to hop on into the first match, and I'll see you there. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, early access to videos, exclusive members-only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, sideboard guides, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, like theepicstorm.com/shop or submitting a donation deck via theepicstorm.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. For round number 1, we're on the draw, and I'm going to keep this hand. We have a few lands. I have Bitter Reunion for a little bit of smoothing. There's a lot to like here. Our opponent plays an Elegant Parlor, and they kept the card on top. We'll play Valakut Awakening as a land and pass. Arena of Glory for a Goblin Bombardment. Not the strongest opening out of an energy deck. Okay, I'll play the untap land. I'll go to 17. And we'll play the Bitter Reunion, and I'll discard one of the 2 copies of Stormscale Scion. Pass the turn. They play a Marsh Flats into a Ajani. Okay. They immediately sacrifice the cat. This transforms the Ajani. And now they can make a cat, and then it will deal me a damage due to them controlling Goblin Bombardment. Pyretic Ritual. Still a little bit light on mana here. I'll play another Bitter Reunion, discard a Valakut Awakening, and then we'll play a Valakut Awakening for turn. Pass. They fetch with the they fetch with the Marsh Flats for an Elegant Parlor. They play land number 4. They fetch, going down to 18 life. Okay, well, our opponent disconnected and never came back. Not really how I wanted this match to go. I'd like to make some better content for you, but I can't control that, so we're just going to go to match number 2. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, Scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks. Round number 2, we're on the draw. This hand is a pretty easy keep. Let's do it. Basic Island. Ruby Medallion, a fine draw. We'll play our land and pass the turn. And step they cycle a Lorien Revealed for a Hallowed Fountain. Okay. And they pass. We'll play a land. Ouch. And just jam the Ruby Medallion because there's no point in holding it. Like, we don't have anything else to do. We have no protection or anything like that. So you might as well just slam. They play another Hallowed Fountain and Prismatic Ending. Okay. They have 1 open mana. Speaking of slamming, I think that's what this hand is supposed to do right now. Let's start with a Manamorphose and see if this even resolves. We'll make red, red. Pyretic Ritual. So I could just play the Goblin Charbelcher here. And then next turn, if the Belcher gets answered, I can play Stormscale Scion. Okay. They're resolved. Pass the turn. They play a Briner Reach Sanitarium into Teferi Time Raveler. So they can bounce the Belcher. They have 5 cards. We'll just replay Goblin Charbelcher here. The resolves will pass. They plus the Teferi Time Raveler. And then they consult with the charts. Consult the star charts, my apologies. And they concede. Goblin Charbelcher is just too powerful for Modern, clearly. Alright. So we gotta win. We'll bring in defense grids. Take out a couple copies of Bitter Reunion. Maybe a few copies of Ironcrag Fee. I don't think that card's particularly good against control decks. Part of me's wondering if we should even just board them all out and then try to cheese them with Blood Moon a little bit. I'm down to try this. Sure. A fine hand. We'll keep. They play a Flooded Strand. We'll play Valakut Awakening and pass. They fetch with the Flooded Strand for a Meticulous Archive. Gets rid of a basic island. Another Flooded Strand. We'll play Sundering Eruption as a land. Ouch. Into Defense Grid. They fetch in response. For another copy of Meticulous Archive. It resolves. Let's go. They get rid of another basic. So if they spend this turn playing Prismatic Ending, we can play the Blood Moon. And it looks like that's what's going to happen here. Unfortunately, they did have a basic Plains. We'll play the Sundering Eruption. Ouch. Blood Moon. It resolves. Love it. Another basic Plains. They have 4 cards in their hand. Ruby Medallion. We'll play Shatterskull Smashing as a land. And I'll pass the turn. Ooh, they found an island. Ah, I missed my window to avoid Consign to Memory. We'll play Bitter Reunion. Discard the Striker Rich. Let's try a Pyretic Ritual. And a Glimpse the Impossible. 2 more Ruby Medallions. Okay. I'll play this one. This might be a crazy play. I want to play the Pyretic Ritual here because it allows me to play the 3rd Medallion into Sundering Eruption. I'm wondering if I can cut them off basics. And we'll cast the Sundering Eruption on their island. Like, they've already put 2 islands to the graveyard. How many do they have? They make 5 mana here. And they hardcast a Solitude. Okay. No 3rd basic, please. Ah, bummer. Okay. So next turn I can play the Pinnacle Monk for 2 mana and get back the Glimpse the Impossible. They play Consult the Star Chart, so now I know that they don't have Consign to Memory open this turn unless they find another basic island. Okay, so they'll attack. I'll go to 11. We'll play our land, play Pinnacle Monk, and we will return Glimpse the Impossible. And I'll play it. I need it to make 1 mana here in order to cast the Stormscale Scion. And it did not hit a mana. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. So I can Shatterskull Smashing and kill the Solitude. And then I have to pass the turn. I missed my window. I mean, I could have played Stormscale Scion for 2. It just seemed like a waste. They play a Field of Ruin and hardcast Solitude. Valakut Awakening. I'm going to pass the turn. I just needed to make a single mana there. They tune the narrative. So that means that they have Wrath of the Sky somewhere in their deck. I don't love that. And I think this game is over. Although they could have Wrath of the Skies to away all my Stormscale Scions, so I guess my play ultimately didn't matter. Okay. We'll go to the next one. And they have Field of Ruin, so I need to bring in the Mountain. Probably take out the Blood Moons now that they know about them. Bring back in... Actually, do I want Vexing Bauble? They probably have Force of Negation. Take out 1 Striker Rich. We'll try this. It's possible my approach in that game was just wrong. This seems okay. We'll keep. Play Spikefield Hazard as a land. Pass the turn. Interesting. So I think that means that they have Force of Negation in hand. We'll play Defense Grid. That just resolved. Okay. So does that mean High Noon? They play Field of Ruin. What's going on here? Damping Sphere. Okay. We'll play the Valakut Awakening. So next turn I can just play Goblin Charbelcher, assuming that they use the Field of Ruin. No, I need an untap land. They have Otawara, Soaring City. So I did board in the mountain. We have access to mountain here. Ooh, untap land. Yes. Let's resolve Goblin Charbelcher. Pass the turn. What do you have for my Goblin Charbelcher? Nothing? Is that the answer? I hope so. They're really tanking here, so I'm willing to bet that they don't have it, but we'll see. My opponent says better lucky than good, I guess. Just concede, that's all you've got to do. Come on, let's go. They play a Field of Ruin. Sure. And they Prismatic Ending my defense grid. Hit you at the Belcher. And that's the match. So we are now 2-0 in this Modern League, 3 matches left. Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $15.99. This token combo pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens featuring classic Storm and Mana tokens with new inclusions such as our modern Ruby Storm package, but that's not all. Our token pack covers a variety of formats from Pauper to CDH with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game. Round number 3, we're on the draw. I've opened up a hand that's very close to being good, but there's only one land. You don't want double Stormscale Scion. Unfortunately, I think you're supposed to mulligan this. We'll try this one. Get rid of the Strike It Rich. Actually, I think it's the Manamorphose. Yeah, we'll do this because the Strike It Rich gets me a little bit closer to the Stormscale Scion. So an Ironcrag Feat or another Desperate Ritual would be very good. Another Stormscale Scion as the draw wasn't great. We'll play the Strike It Rich and pass. So right now I'm 1 mana short. So next turn we have Pinnacle Monk, that's mana number 3. Ritual is 4, Ritual is 5, so I need +1 mana here. They play Tamiyo, Urza Saga into Mishra's Bauble, so they do have like Metallic Rebuke online, and we draw Belcher. I could just slam Goblin Charbelcher and just disrespect. We'll play Pyretic Ritual and Goblin Charbelcher. Does it resolve? Disruptor Flute. That's not nice. Why would you do that? Ah, bummer. Okay. And they use the Mishra's Bauble. Urza Saga. That probably wouldn't have happened if our deck could have just given me a mana. We'd have an army of flying dragons. Alright, I'm going to concede this one. All of our draws were clunky. I'm super far away from winning. We can just go to the next one. Womp womp. We likely want the Abrade effects. I don't know why this switched over to card view. Let's send it, or pile view. Let's send it back to card view. I don't know if we want defense grid here. We probably do for Consigned to Memory. We'll take out Ironcrag Feat. It's just, against blue decks, it's a liability. And then we'll cut 2 Bitter Reunion and 2 Strike It Rich. On the play for game number 2. Sure, we'll try this. So my immediate thought is we have 2 lands, which is fine. And then on turn 2, if we want to, you could go Ritual Glimpse the Impossible, just make 3 Eldrazi Scions. And then on turn 3, you have access to Stormscale Scion. And now they play Pithing Needle. That is not very kind. They name Goblin Charbelcher. Okay. You draw another land. I think I'm not going to jam out the Glimpse the Impossible right now. I'll just pass. So if we draw a Ritual for our turn next turn, I do have access to Stormscale Scion. They play a Mox Opal, Mishra's Bauble, 4 cards still in their hand. Now a Pinnacle Emissary, Springleaf Drum, 2 cards left, another Mishra's Bauble, and then a Winter Moon. I can only untap 1 non-land permanent, or 1 non-basic land per turn. So they'll draw off the Mishra's Baubles here. Ruby Medallion. We'll play our land. That's enough to play the Stormscale Scion here. Desperate Ritual. Desperate Ritual. And we'll just take the dragons. If you were a little bit more greedy, you'd try to Glimpse the Impossible. But if you miss, you would really regret it. So I don't think that's a play you want to make. The drones do block creatures with flying. So they're not dead on my first attack. And now Urza Saga. They make an 8/8 construct. And they concede. Nice. Alright, we stole game number 2. Now to get game 3. No changes, I think. We'll just hit submit. Oh, actually, do I want Vexing Bauble? They have a lot of free stuff in their deck. I'll try swapping 2 Vexing Bauble with 2 Defense Grid. Ooh, I mean, I would need to draw lands for this hand to be good. They took a mulligan. I have the Vexing Bauble, which is really tempting. Alright, this is probably a bad idea, but I'm going to keep. I would like to draw an untapped land for turn. That would be great. They play Tamiyo Inquisitive Student. We did not draw an untapped land. We will pass after we play our land. The Valakut Awakening. They attack with the Tamiyo. They have 5 cards in their hand. They play Urza's Saga. I did not draw a land. Clearly punished. Bad decision, Bryant. Alright, Vexing Bauble. And it resolves. We'll pass. They sacrifice the Clue token. They attack with the Tamiyo. Ouch. We did draw a land. That's good. We'll pass. They did not sacrifice the Clue token on the end step. That's very interesting. They grab a Mox Opal. Okay, because it gives them Metalcraft. That would make more sense. But I guess they would have gotten Metalcraft with their attack, so maybe they should have sacrificed the Clue token digging for another land. They play a Thoughtcast. This transforms the Tamiyo. Okay. They have 7 cards. They plus the Tamiyo Inquisitive Student. They play a land. And Emery Lurker of the Lock. Disruptor Flute, Lava Spur Boots, Mishra's Bauble, and an island. They play another Tamiyo here. 1 untapped island. We did not draw a land. I'll try a Ruby Medallion. And we'll pass. They plus the Tamiyo. And now they attack. They get to investigate again. They have the ability to Emery into Disruptor Flute. We drew another Ritual. Let's try Pyretic Ritual. And I'd like to play the other Ruby Medallion here because I think my game plan is I want to Glimpse the Impossible a few times to help beat their hate. So I'll play Glimpse the Impossible. We hit an Untimely Malfunction. That's very good. Cast the Desperate Ritual. And I don't want to Splice, I don't think. And they're going to Emery for the Disruptor Flute. And now they play it. They know that I have Untimely Malfunction in exile that I can cast. And they name Goblin Charbelcher. I will use the Untimely Malfunction and attempt to destroy the Disruptor Flute. I would like to Glimpse the Impossible again, see if I can hit something that allows me to beat a Consign to Memory. Pyretic Ritual. We will Manamorphose. Red. Valakut Awakening. I just don't think I can beat a Consign to Memory here is my concern. I only have 2 defense grids in the deck, so why am I digging so hard for them? I'll play the Belcher. So I think I want Untimely Malfunction in case they have actual factual counterspell. They might not, but they do have the Consign to Memory. Yep. So I don't know if this could work, but we might be able to hold priority. That's an activated ability. Never mind. I was thinking about the Vexing Bauble. That doesn't do what I want. I will respond by casting Valakut Awakening. Bottom the Untimely Malfunction. And I'm 1 mana short of doing anything meaningful here. Bummer. We'll play the Spikefield Hazard as a land. And I'll get an Eldrazi Scion. And now they can replay the Disruptor Flute too. They return the Consign to Memory to their hand using the Tamiyo. Okay. I think I have to sacrifice the Vexing Bauble. I don't know how we're going to beat Emery plus Disruptor Flute and the Consign to Memory. It doesn't seem possible to me. And now they Disruptor Flute. Yep. And they name Goblin Charbelcher again. I would like to try to Valakut Awakening here. I can put the land in the Belcher on the bottom and draw 3. Another Vexing Bauble. Let's see if they counter this with the Consign to Memory. They didn't. We'll play the Desperate Ritual. Play my land. And the Stormscale Scion, which they're going to counter with the Consign to Memory, so I'll just end up with a 4/4 flyer. There we go. We have to pass the turn. They minus the Tamiyo to return Thoughtcast. This now flips the other Tamiyo. They plus that Tamiyo. And they now Emery for Lava Spur Boots. Sure. You got it. Tap a Cannoneer. That's not good for me. And now they can equip it with the Lava Spur Boots. Yikes. Yeah. Ouch. I'm at 11. Pinnacle Monk here is interesting. We'll play the Pinnacle Monk. I can return Glimpse the Impossible. And I mean, with a perfect 3 cards, there's a chance I could win. I mean, I doubt it happens, but let's take the opportunity for it to potentially exist. Belcher, Desperate Ritual and a Striker Rich. That's not going to win the game. So I can Desperate Ritual here, and then cast the Shatterskull Smashing, killing the Emery, and then the rest at Tamiyo. And then we'll attack the Tamiyo to finish it off. And then the minus trigger happens, and now we'll get a couple Eldrazi Scions. They have 8 cards in hand. They could just play a bunch of artifacts here and kill me with the Kappa Cannoneer. Another Emery from their hand. They equip the Emery Lurker of the Lock with the Lava Spur Boots. This allows them to play Pinnacle Emissary. Winter Moon. Okay. Sure. Untap a land. We had Glimpse the Impossible. That's not bad. But I think we're supposed to hold it for a turn. So I could flashback the Striker Rich just for Storm. And that gives me an artifact. But does 1 damage matter here? Probably not. We'll swing for 8. I'm sorry, swing for 6. So they'll end up at 14. I was thinking about how they're going to crack back and hit me for 8. So they only need, you know, a few here to win. I mean, I could block the Emery, but I'm not terribly far off dead from the Kappa Cannoneer. They play an Urza Saga. They use the Emery on the Pinnacle Emissary. And now they cast it. This triggers the Kappa Cannoneer. And now they should be able to just cast a bunch of artifacts and kill me. This is what I thought they were going to do last turn, to be honest. Because whenever they cast the artifact, they get the drone trigger. And then the drones enter and make the Kappa Cannoneer larger. So it should be pretty easy for them to kill me. And if you're thinking like, Bryant, you have a Braid in your deck, you can sacrifice Vexing Bobble and draw into a Braid. I don't. Well, I do have a Braid in the deck, but that's not a legal line because the Kappa Cannoneer has Ward 4. It is very tough to kill. Alright, so I am dead. This creature can't be blocked and it has Ward 4. I'll be taking 14 here and we will be going to 2-1 in this Modern League. Bummer. I just want to see the top 3 if it lets me, to see if Glimpse the Impossible could have won. So if I had played Glimpse on our turn, I could then... I would only have the 2 colorless mana available. I could take 3, play Manamorphose, making red, and I would draw into another copy of Stormscale Scion. So I could have made more dragons, but those dragons would have lost the game anyway. So I don't think there was actually a valid line for me there. Okay, so we lost. It happens. Let's go get match number 4. The Gold Sabertooth times the Epic Storm collection has arrived with 3 full-size tokens showcasing the beloved Dark Ritual, CDH Rogsai, and Legacy of the Epic Storm for just $5. On the backs of these tokens, there's a place for my signature or a custom message. In addition to these sweet tokens, a friendly reminder that all orders that ship from theepicstorm.com also come with a signed Storm token from yours truly. For round number 4, we're on the play this time. Let's get it. Sure, this seems fine to me. Turn 3 win? Don't mind if I do. Our opponent reveals a Devourer of Destiny. We'll play a land and pass. So what I like about the Devourer of Destiny reveal here, and I mean, it doesn't mean that we're going to win, but it means our opponent isn't playing blue, which would be a nice change of pace. Obviously our round 1 opponent wasn't, but then they just, you know, disconnected and conceded. So non-blue on my alley. Let's do it. They play an Ugin's Labyrinth, exiling the Devourer of Destiny. We'll play Shatterskull Smashing. And Goblin Charbelcher. Oh, I can't play Goblin Charbelcher. Sorry, Ruby Medallion. Got too excited. I was like, I know I want to cast the colorless card this turn. Wrong one. Alright, so they have 2 mana right now. And an Eldrazi Temple. Okay, so no Thought-Knot Seer. That's a good sign. We'll play Manamorphose. Red. Ironcrag Feet. It might have been a little greedy for me to play the Manamorphose there. I probably should have held it. Because if for some reason my Goblin Charbelcher wing gets stopped, I get punished. I was thinking that there's no chance they have anything in the main deck to stop me here, but if they did, I'd want the Manamorphose in my hand instead of me just holding a land. And we win game number 1. Okay. Facing an Eldrazi deck, we probably want the Blood Moons. Maybe some Abrades. Take out a couple copies of Bitter Reunion, and then maybe the Strike It Rich. We'll, you know, submit this and see what happens. Game number 2, our opponent's taking a mulligan, so will we. This hand doesn't have mana. Alright, so we have lands, we have Blood Moon. There's a lot to like here. I think we keep this and we get rid of the Ironcrag Feet. Our opponent's taking a mulligan to 5. They play an Eldrazi Temple. Stormscale Scion, not a bad draw. We'll play Valakut Awakening as a land. Urza's mine. We're going to Ritual into Blood Moon this turn to shut off their plays. Ouch. So we'll lose a Pyretic Ritual. Pause here from the opponent. Do you have a Disruptor Flute? Is that what's going on here? It would be an insane read for if they knew to Disruptor Flute on Blood Moon. This looks like a Kozilek's Command for 1. And it is. Pass. They play another Eldrazi Temple into Karn the Great Creator. And they choose Trinisphere. I am holding an Abrade, so not the end of the world. We'll play our land, pass the turn. I'm regretting bottoming that Ironcrag Feat now. I would like it. They play the Trinisphere, that's fine. They play an Urza's Mine from their hand. They minus the Karn again. And they grab the Liquid Metal Coating. I could kill the Karn here. The issue is if they had another. I'll just play Pinnacle Monk as a land and pass. And they play the Liquid Metal Coating. In response to this, I guess it doesn't matter. I lose the land no matter what. We'll destroy the Liquid Metal Coating. So maybe I was supposed to just kill the Karn with the Shatterskull Smashing. Because they just got to Stone Rain me. So maybe Shatterskull was the play. We'll play the Ruby Medallion. You still can't Disruptor Flute me. That's not how it works. And we'll play our land. Pass. Your Trinisphere affects you too. So the way with Trinisphere and cost reducers work is no matter what, Trinisphere always wins. Unless the spell is more expensive. So the Stormscale Scion will cost 5 now instead of 6. But the Pyretic Ritual will always cost 3. They play the Stone Brain. Okay, let's see what they name here. They named Stormscale Scion, so they ripped the one out of my hand. Devastating. I guess I get to draw a card, though. That hurts. And we draw a Bitter Reunion. I will play the Bitter Reunion. And I think I'll get rid of the Pyretic Ritual. It just doesn't do anything here. Pinnacle Monk is not a bad draw, because it can get back the Abrade. And is a theoretical win condition. Our opponent is plussing on the Trinisphere. So this actually, when you attack with Trinisphere, spells no longer cost 3. A fun fact for you. They overspent for Disruptor Flute because it doesn't cost 3 anymore because the Trinisphere is tapped. Let's see what they name. And then they name a Braid. Okay, that's annoying. They have 3 cards. I could Spikefield Hazard right now on the Karn. I guess I don't need to. I'll just take my draw. Desperate Ritual. I'll play the Desperate Ritual. And then Pinnacle Monk. Return the Abrade. Sacrifice the Bitter Reunion. So that way my Pinnacle Monk now has haste. And now we'll attack. Attack Karn the Great Piece of Trash. See if they do anything before blockers. They don't. And I'll Spikefield Hazard them. And now the prowess happens. And the Pinnacle Monk will deal 3 to the Karn the Great Creator. And it will die. Pass the turn. Another Karn the Great Creator. Annoying. They just plussed it. Let's play Ironcrag Feat. And then I don't think I care about the Trinisphere. We'll just attack the Karn for 3. They minus the Karn. And they grab a Walking Ballista. That can kill my Pinnacle Monk here. That's unfortunate. Yep. We might have just lost. We'll play Glimpse the Impossible. Play my land. Milling over a Shatterskull Smashing here hurts. Because, one, I can't cast it with the Trinisphere in play, so that's a bummer. But it's also my out here to Karn the Great Creator. Or if I could have drawn that Spikefield Hazard for turn, we could have killed Karn the Great Creator that way. And now they're animating their Disruptor Flute. Okay. I'm at 12. Let's cycle Abrade. I'm sorry, cycle Manamorphose. Red, red. We'll cycle Manamorphose again. Each time we lose 1 mana here. Red, red. I'm going to hold this Glimpse. We'll pass the turn. And they have All Is Dust. That gets rid of my Blood Moon. Yep. We'll play Glimpse the Impossible. Into more Blood Moons. Play Blood Moon. Play a land. Pass the turn. I am still in this game. Like a Shatterskull Smashing killing the Karn the Great Creator And then the Disruptor Flute that they keep on animating would actually be very good for me. I don't know how many we have left. There's one in play. I know there's at least one in the graveyard. Yeah, so there's 2 left in the deck. Like, it's possible for me to win this. They minus the Karn the Great Creator and choose Cityscape Leveler, and they destroy my Blood Moon. Okay. And we rip the Shatterskull. Might be a little late now, but this thing is Unearth 8 too, so I don't want to kill it. We'll kill the Karn the Great Creator, and now we'll pass. I believe the Abrade costs 6 to cast, with Trinisphere and Disruptor Flute in play. Goodbye to my Ruby Medallion. I'll just take 8. I'll go to 2. Kozilek's Command for 8. So I need them to not hit lethal or another Karn the Great Creator. They play an Expedition map. Okay. And now they use the map. This can go get... Apparently they grabbed the Urza's Tower. Thought-Knot Seer. We'll attempt to Abrade the Trinisphere. Okay, so they use Thought-Knot Seer. Goblin Charbelcher 1 time. Nope. Alright, we saw half of our deck and did not find a Goblin Charbelcher. Bummer. Okay. I think I want the Untimely Malfunctions as well. I don't know what I would sideboard out, though. I think I actually want everything that's in my deck. I guess I get rid of Bitter Reunion. I don't feel super strongly about that. It sucks if I pass the turn with Stormscale Scion and then they all as dust me, though. Game 3 on the play. We'll try it. They kept 7. We'll play the Valakut Awakening as a land and pass. Urza's Tower. We'll play the Pinnacle Monk as a land and then pass the turn. They play Urza's Power Plant, so they're only 1 land away from Natural Tron. Shatterskull Smashing. I would like to cycle Manamorphose and see what my card is before I make any decisions here. We'll do red, Ironcrag Feet, so that does not give me the win. I'm going to play Shatterskull here, and then I think I'm going to destroy their land. Get rid of Urza's Tower. And they cast a Disruptor Flute, sure. And they name a Braid, which is what I have in my hand. And they do have a basic. How about that? They play Eldrazi Temple into Trinisphere. I drew Goblin Charbelcher, but I'm a mana short of playing it and activating, so I will play Glimpse the Impossible, play my land. And I milled over Untimely Malfunction, which isn't the best. Alright, so now I have a couple Eldrazi spawns in play. We're looking to fade Karn the Great Creator this turn. They have Urza's Mine, so they would have had Tron if I had not destroyed the Urza's Tower. Let's play Ironcrag Feet. I lose to another Disruptor Flute, or I could play the Stormscale Scion. I think I'm going to go for broke here. Let's just play the Belcher. If they have another Disruptor Flute, it stinks, but I want to try to win. And they do have another Disruptor Flute. Ay. That resolves. We'll pass. So I can try to set this up more slowly, where we abrade the Disruptor Flute on Belcher, and then untap and belch them. They play Expedition Map. And another basic forest. They have 3 cards in their hand. Play the Spikefield Hazard. Pass the turn. If they don't do anything meaningful on their turn, I think we win on my turn. Because the Abrade costs 6. I can pay for 6 for the Abrade. And then we can destroy the Disruptor Flute on Goblin Charbelcher. They grab Urza's Tower. They have all the mana in the world now. Thought-Knot Seer. So I have to Abrade here. Destroy the Disruptor Flute on Goblin Charbelcher. It only costs 5 apparently, by the way. So now they can exile the Stormscale Scion from my hand, and we just have to hope they don't have anything else. There's 3 cards left in their hand. They do take the Stormscale Scion. Talisman of Resilience. And I think that this is just lethal. Target you. Boom. We beat Eldrazi Tron. What a match. Alright, so we are now 3-1? Pretty sick. Let's go get match number 5. The best Legacy podcast? That would be Eternal Glory featuring myself, Bryant Cook, alongside Brian Koval and Phil Gallagher. We're available on all major podcast platforms and YouTube. The final round, we're on the draw. I will try this hand. A Swamp into Thoughtseize. So our hand is pretty good against Thoughtseize. They probably take the Glimpse the Impossible here, but it's not the end of the world. They could try to take Ruby Medallion and then follow up with another discard spell. They choose a Pinnacle Monk. That's a little weird to me, but maybe they have another discard spell next turn for my land, and that's why they're doing it. We'll play the Sunring Eruption, pass the turn. Like, I personally think that choosing the land was wrong, because generally with discard spells, you want to take the thing that the person doesn't have multiple of, and in this instance, I'd want to take either the Desperate Ritual or the Glimpse the Impossible. That said, I don't have all the information. I don't have the cards that they have in their hand. So, or I don't know the cards they have in their hand. But you don't want to take something that they have a bunch of, and in this case it was lands. So I think that's just a weird decision on the opponent's part, from my perspective. We'll play the Ruby Medallion, pass the turn. They did not dredge the Life from the Loam. They play Urza's Saga, sure, into a Grist the Hunger Tide, milling over a Liliana of the Veil. You got it. We draw Striker Rich. I will play Pinnacle Monk as a land, untapped, I think. We'll play Striker Rich, and then I'll play the second copy of Ruby Medallion. Next turn, I can Glimpse the Impossible, and then potentially Pinnacle Monk and Glimpse the Impossible again. Urza's Saga goes to the second chapter. They play the Verdant Catacombs that they returned using the Life from the Loam. They play Shadow Spear. They plus the Grist the Hunger Tide, milling over an Orcish Bowmasters. Now they can attack for 1 with the Insect token from the Grist the Hunger Tide. I'll go to 13. Goblin Charbelcher will play Desperate Ritual, play the Pinnacle Monk as a land, and Goblin Charbelcher, target you, instant death. Alright, one more game and we finish this with a strong 4-1 record. Probably want like a couple copies of a Braid. You could bring in your Mountain for Beseiju. Like the Life from the Loam deck is definitely playing Beseiju. And then we'll board out like 2 Striker Rich and maybe like 1 Bitter Reunion. Submit. Game number 2, we've opened up another strong hand against a turn 1 discard spell. So if they want to take a land, we have 3 of them. If they want to take Ruby Medallion, we have Ironcrag Feet. So that's not a big deal. I think the actual play here would be to take Bitter Reunion. They play a turn 1 Needle. Okay, I did bring in 2 copies of a Braid. We also have Stormscale Scion, so it's not the end of the world. And they do name Goblin Charbelcher. We draw Glimpse the Impossible. I'm going to play the Valakut Awakening as a land first because it enters tapped. Drawing the Glimpse the Impossible changes it a little bit for me because I was going to hold the Valakut Awakening to potentially cycle away cards. When we have Bitter Reunion and Glimpse the Impossible, I don't think I need to do that anymore. They use the Misty Rainforest for an Overgrown Tomb. Smallpox. Okay. I will discard the Ironcrag Feet. They get rid of Toxic Deluge. A weird choice in my opinion, because if you have Goblin Charbelcher on lockdown, I'd be looking to keep the Toxic Deluge to beat dragons, but what do I know? We'll play another land, pass the turn. They play Overgrown Tomb, going down to 14 life, and now they Life from the Loam. Stormscale Scion, not a bad draw. So I will go to 16, we'll play the Ruby Medallion, and then we'll pass. They play the basic Swamp into Liliana of the Veil. I think we get rid of the Bitter Reunion. I don't think I'm going to have mana to play and activate that. They have 2 cards left in their hand. I believe one of them is a land that we know they played the Misty. So Ritual into Stormscale Scion is only 2, and then it's answered by the Liliana, so I think I would like to Glimpse the Impossible here. We hit a Braid. Play the land. Yes. And then we'll Manamorphose. We'll make red, red. Ooh, that's the win. I shouldn't say the win. It allows me to play Stormscale Scion. So we'll Pyretic Ritual. I can cast the Abrade. We'll kill the Pithing Needle. Ironcrag Feet. Stormscale Scion for a bunch of dragons. So if they don't have another Toxic Deluge, this is sort of their own fault for getting rid of it. But we'll find out. If they have another one, maybe they look like a genius. And they conceded. So nice. We finished this with a 4-1 record. This was the deck list. I felt fine about it. I don't know if there's any changes I'm really looking to make. I didn't love the sideboard I played in the last video. This sideboard I think was a lot better. In the previous video, we did 2 main deck Blood Moon and 2 Glimpse the Impossible. But throughout the entire that video, I felt like I just wanted 4 Glimpse the Impossible, and I think I liked the current configuration. I liked the Abrade Untimely Malfunction split. Vexing Bauble is okay. Defense Grid we used. Like, everything here felt useful. Let me know what you think of the deck in the comment section down below. I thought it was pretty powerful. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and thanks for watching. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Keep storming. What you should do is like, comment, and subscribe because there's no better way to support us. And if you enjoyed this video, head over to moxfield.com and follow us there. It's truly the best deck website on the internet. We update all of our decks there regularly with the latest and greatest technology, so you're always up to date. Once again, go check out Moxfield, and thank you for watching.